how do we build those relationships with people in our communities?
Great question. So I was tasked with finding my own leads back in 2011. For every deal we did via direct marketing, all the hits, the direct mail, the pay-per-click, all those things, we were going to do one other deal via relationship building. And so I started to look at the stereotypes of what our sellers were. Do you buy houses from 28-year-olds very often, or 82-year-olds?
82-year-olds.
Right. It's always senior guys. You've been working these kinds of leads. You just haven't prioritized or systematized this yet. And so I want to be clear about a couple things. I am not talking today about taking a single family home and turning it into a residential assisted living community. That's not what I'm talking about. Those guys are great. And it's every person that moves into those communities, whether they be a small box or a big box community. That's the flashpoint of the families needing to move in. And so back in 2011, I said, well, is anybody going directly to the senior living industry and building these relationships? And I was told no. And he said, you should go do that. And so I went out, and guys, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I put my foot in my mouth over and over again. I showed up with, look at this shirt. You don't think this personality? I showed up with this personality, walked in the front door and said, I'm Philip. I'm an investor and I buy houses from old people moving into nursing homes. In that sentence, I said at least 3 things that will get me kicked out today.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I didn't know that at the time. And but I was like, wait a second, this industry, I knew it was like peanut butter and chocolate. I had to figure it out. So I kept coming back. My stubbornness kept me coming there. And they are very collaborative, Brent, when they know, like, and trust you. Yep. And so today I don't show up as an investor and I don't show up as a real estate agent, but I show up as something called a senior transition specialist to help with not only the house, but we're going to talk a lot today about the stuff. If you guys aren't thinking about the stuff in your real estate business, you're missing the mark. When you buy someone's forever home, it's full of, the house might be the easy part. It's the memories, it's the stuff is the hard part. And if you can be a solution from the treasures down to trash, you can be a lot more valuable to the families, and you're going to buy more houses.
That's incredible. I mean, that is a huge thing. I mean, I just know my grandma, fortunately, it's wonderful. She lives next door to me now, which is a senior living facility, but she has a vacant house. This is real life. This is literally right now. She has a vacant house on the other side of town filled with stuff. You know what I mean? Yep. And by the way, she's paid it off and that's fine, but there's still costs. Right. She still keeps the utilities on. She's still making sure that she's paying her security, her alarm system, everything there. I mean, there's some just general costs involved there, but it's a whole house full of stuff.
Yes.
And what are we going to do with it?
Would you say you said it was grandma or mom? You said
grandma.
Would you say grandma's affluent?
No,
she's lucky that she has that asset sitting there.
Right.
Most Americans can't afford to do that, right? As soon as that moment that they have to start paying $6, $7, $8 grand a month for the care, they have to sell the house. And so before your grandmother would ever be eligible for things like Medicaid and those types of things, she would have to spin down that house. And so the problem right now is that people are outliving their money, right? And, we keep talking about there's no inventory. I was reading an article the other day in the Wall Street Journal, and it said, okay, boomers, who's going to buy your 21 million houses? And it talked about the next 20 years. Guys, for the next 20 years, 21 million boomers their parents are going to move into senior living, or they're going to move into senior living. And here's the best stat. If you guys want to write this one down, 7 out of 10 Americans over the age of 65 are going to live in some sort of assisted care before they pass away. So to me, we always talk about probate. That probate's the small niche. This pre-probate situation is the majority of Americans. They're going to need to sell that house before they ever qualify for Medicaid or ever pass away. This is the flashpoint of when they're going to need to sell.